The guy who used to be the biggest YouTuber on earth quietly spent a year writing Python, and the thing he shipped has 82,000 stars. His name is Felix Kjellberg, and the project is called Odysseus. It's a self-hosted AI workspace, which sounds like nothing until you actually open it. You get chat with local models and autonomous agents that can run shell commands right on your machine. Then it keeps going into your email, inbox, and your calendar, all of it on hardware you own with no telemetry. He'd spent a long detour deep in Linux and self-hosting, and every tool he tried felt like a step backwards, so he built his own. It went public at the end of May under a wide open license. 6 weeks later, it's one of the most starred projects on GitHub, and the license isn't that anymore. Enjoying this so far? Subscribe to the YouTube channel and grab the free daily newsletter at indiehacker.news. New deep dive every weekday. Here's the README, and it opens the way the whole project does, with a wordmark and one line. Yours for the voyage. Under that sits the interface itself, and it's the part that made people stop scrolling. Dark and monospaced, with a sidebar down the left that is far longer than a chat app has any business being. The model picker in the corner is pointed at a local model, not an API. Keep going and you hit the quick start, which is a git clone and a docker compose command, and that is genuinely the whole install. Then the feature list, 8 lines covering everything this thing does. And right at the bottom, the license line, which reads AGPL 3.0 or later. That is not what it said on launch day. This is not an empty room. OpenWebUI has been doing self-hosted chat for years, and it's mature and polished in a way Odysseus is not. LibreChat owns the multi-user case, and between anything LLM and Jan, the local first desktop crowd is already well served. So when this hit Hacker News, 245 points and 100 comments, the top objection was basically just use OpenWebUI. One commenter called the whole thing a celebrity wrapper, and honestly, that's a fair hit. The counter is that none of those tools bundle all of it into one install. The star count is the runaway headline, but look underneath it. People forked it, and then strangers who had never met him started sending code, so the merged pull requests stacked up inside a codebase whose owner openly says he has no idea what he is doing. Start with the agents, because that's where the ambition is. An agent here gets shell access and any MCP server you point it at, which means it can read a PDF sitting on your disk and drop the result straight into a note. Then there's the Cookbook, which is the piece I keep thinking about. It scans your actual hardware right down to how much VRAM you're working with and tells you which open models will genuinely run on it, then downloads and serves them for you. That whole feature is adapted from a small open source project called llmfit by Alex Jones, and Odysseus credits it by name. DeepResearch goes multi-step, reading real sources and writing you a report. Compare runs 2 models side by side, blind, and then synthesizes what they said. Want to be featured? Pitch your open source repo at indiehacker.news/apply and get in front of thousands of builders. Here's where it stops being a chat app. Odysseus ships an email client, a real one, over IMAP and SMTP, and the agent triages the inbox and drafts your replies for you. Hacker News actually singled that feature out as the good one. Notes and tasks live right next to a calendar with CalDAV sync, so it talks to whatever you already use, and you can hand a to-do to an agent and walk away. Documents is a writing-first editor with AI edits and inline suggestions. There's a gallery with an image editor, plus a self-hosted search backend and 2-factor auth underneath it all. It is, and I mean this fairly literally, a personal operating system for language models, which is a strange thing for a comedy YouTuber to have built. Under the hood, it's Fast API sitting on CQL Alchemy and SQLite, which is about as boring and as correct as you can get for a single user app. The front end is where it gets strange because there's no React and no build step at all. The package.json has exactly 0 runtime dependencies. It's plain JavaScript and CSS served straight off disk plus 1 vendored copy of highlight.js. Memory and retrieval run on ChromaDB with local embeddings, so nothing leaves your machine just to be indexed. And the agent loop, along with that whole DeepResearch pipeline, are openly borrowed from two other projects, opencode and Alibaba's Tongyi DeepResearch, both credited with their licenses in a file at the root of the repo. Installing it is 4 lines, and one of them is just cd. You clone the repo and copy the example environment file, then you bring the containers up. It listens on localhost port 7000, and your first admin password gets printed into the Docker logs, so go and read them. One catch is worth knowing about. On an Apple Silicon Mac, Docker cannot reach the Metal GPU, so the Cookbook will only serve models on CPU. If you want your graphics card, you install it natively instead. So, back to that license, because it's the part that actually matters here. Odysseus launched under the most permissive license there is, which means any cloud company could have taken the code and sold it back to you as a closed service. 2 days later, a user called Zaptosis opened a thread arguing for copyleft instead, and the line that stuck with me was that copyleft is protective, not restrictive, and the only freedom it takes away is your freedom to take somebody else's. 9 days after launch, the license commit landed. The thread kept running for another 2 weeks, until the maintainer finally showed up and left one line. Updated per request. Thanks for suggestion. So here is the honest shape of it. Big parts were written fast, with a coding assistant riding shotgun, and in a few places you can absolutely tell. The roadmap itself warns you that if some corner of the code base looks suspiciously murky, you are probably right to stay away from it. And prompt injection is still sitting there as an open, unsolved risk. None of that has slowed it down, and that is the genuinely interesting part. The real verdict is that this momentum is a signal, the loudest one yet, that regular people would rather own this layer of their computing than keep renting it. So if you have spent years waiting for permission to stop renting your AI and run it on a box you actually control, consider this your permission slip. Links in the description below.